Painting of the Grasslands with Ms.Boley. This is part 2 of this video. So we've already drawn our buffalo in the grasslands, and now we're going to start adding some color using our watercolor paints. So unfortunately, I did not put my watercolor paint palette on camera when I was filming this. But what I'm doing is I'm dipping my brush into water and I'm creating a puddle of paint on this little plastic lid. So this is my little palette. So I recommend getting something from your recycling bin, or it can be like a plate or something that you can use to mix your paint on. So what I've done is I made a puddle of green and I added some yellow to it. And this is the preferred method for mixing watercolor paints, because if you mix it within the palette, it just gets your paints super dirty and they'll all turn really muddy. And so I really wanted to show you how you can mix your colors by using a little puddle of paint on a palette. Okay, so remember last time when we said if your brush starts to make streaky brush strokes, then you might need to add a bit more water. So I am just basically filling in the whole background of the grass using a really nice green color that I mixed by mixing green and yellow together. Okay, so that's what I would like you to do, and we'll meet back when our whole grass background is painted. Okay, so now I'm taking a darker green. So it's just the pure green from my paint palette without any yellow mixed in. And I'm just gonna do some vertical up and down brush strokes with the darker green while my light green is still wet. So I'm just doing some more grass texture, and wherever I kind of feel like it just needs a bit of darker green, I'm just gonna go in and add that. All right, I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to add some brown. So what I'm doing here is I've put a puddle of brown paint on my palette, and I'm just doing tiny little bit of green, adding a little bit of green into the brown to make that a little bit of a different color of brown. And then I actually added some red into the brown to make a really nice warm brown. So remember to try to mix a different color than what's directly from your palette. Okay, that's one of the things that we're trying to learn by doing this painting. So now I'm just filling in that little foothills area back there and a little stripe of brown. You can kind of be creative for this particular part because your grassland and my grassland are going to look slightly different, just like the buffalo drawings that we did look slightly different. Now I'm going to paint the buffalo. Now I haven't let my grass area dry yet, so I'm just taking care to not mix my paints together too much. I will show you what to do if they do start to mix together and you don't want that to happen. You can always use a paper towel and lift some of the paint off. So let's paint our whole buffaloes brown, and then we'll meet back when we're done. Okay, so I want it to make my buffalo a little bit darker. So I took paint directly from my paint palette, and whoa, that's really dark. So I'm gonna go with it. I know that the paint that I just painted down is wet, and so that dark brown will sort of blend in a little bit. Okay, but if you ever have any moments like, oh no, emergency, kind of like that, you can always use a paper towel to just lift up the paint and get rid of some of the paints, and then you can just try again. So watercolor it's so good for being able to just try again. So we're trying here. Let me show you right now. So now see how the back legs of my buffalo, there was too much water, and now the brown is starting to blend in with the green. So I'm gonna just smush my paper towel, and there we go. And I'm going to do the same with the buffalo's face, so you can just see it a little bit better There we go. So now you can just continue adding more brown paint to the buffalo, or a little bit more brush strokes for your grass. You can add a sky. You can add whatever else you think it needs. And I cannot wait to see your work. That is it. Thanks so much for watching.